When we see St. Patrick depicted in works of art, he is shown dressed in the fancy garb of a bishop. And while he was a bishop, yes he was, there he is, he was also a true missionary who ministered to both peasants and kings while spreading the tenets of Christianity. Here to tell us more about the real personality of St. Patrick, Jerry Gillespie. Jerry, you'll be speaking this Tuesday night at the Irish History Roundtable at the Knights of St. Patrick's Hall in New Haven, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, before we talk about that, talk about St. Patrick himself, that event is organized by the Connecticut Irish American Historical Society.
Historical Society Roundtable, yes.
All right. I did not know that there was an Irish Historical Society in Connecticut, let alone that it was based around New Haven.
I'm not a member of it, so I don't know an awful lot about it, but it's been here for quite a while. There's a lot of Irish American societies in Connecticut because Connecticut has a very high percentage of Irish people.
Sure.
And they've been around for, I've spoken there before in the past on early Irish literature and mythology and different things, so they've been around for a while.
Okay, well now let's talk about St. Patrick, because a lot of times people think of leprechauns on St. Patrick's Day. They forget about St. Patrick himself. 1600 years ago, traveled the footpaths of Ireland. So what do you think is the biggest misconception about St. Patrick?
Well, a lot of the information that people have about St. Patrick comes from later 7th century tales that were made up or devised or developed. We don't know how many of them are true or not true. The idea, some of the things that people have, like that he used the shamrock to talk about the Trinity, but probably the major thing, the major myth that people have about St. Patrick is he drove the snakes out of Ireland.
That's a myth?
There never were any snakes in Ireland. They never came across. Yep.
Wow. Well, you know, you burst my bubble here. You know, I took that as gospel. So he didn't, well, if that's the case, then how did that legend come up, do you know?
A lot of things developed around him in the 7th century and later. He was a major figure in Irish history and in Irish Christian history. So, as with all major figures in a society that's not totally literate at the time, folk tales, legends, political schemes gather around him.
Okay.
But luckily, there are only 2 pieces of literature that have come out of 5th century Ireland, because it didn't have a written language at the time, and it wasn't part of the Roman Empire, so it was complete sort of virgin territory for Christianity in many ways. Those 2 documents, luckily, were written by him. So we do have his actual documents talking about his mission, his beliefs. One of them was talking about that. The other was a letter excommunicating a bishop warlord for kidnapping some of his parishioners.
Now, I learned this morning through our trivia question that St. Patrick was, I believe, Romano-British. He was not Irish, at least not by birth.
Right. As far as we can tell, and again, he was very skimpy in his information, he was born on the west coast of England, either in Wales itself or north of Wales. And the language he grew up speaking, as well as Latin, would have been British, which is the ancestor of modern Welsh.
Ah, okay. All right, very, very interesting stuff. So now, how did you get so interested in St. Patrick, and how did you learn so much about him?
Well, I have a master's degree in comparative literature, in which one of the specialties was early Irish secular literature. But in the process of wanting to find out more about Irish history, I discovered that he'd written these 2 documents, and I read them, and I just found him to be a fascinating man. Very, very fascinating.
Well, we might as well know about him since we do so much celebrating of him, or his day at least, March 17th every year. So, if you're interested in getting more information about, or if you'd like to attend Tuesday night's talk, we are going to put that information, there it is up on the screen, the address as well as the time, Tuesday, March 20th at 7:30 p.m. I can't read the address because my eyes aren't so good.
I don't either, but I think it's 1333
State Street in New Haven. Yes, there it is. That much I can read, the State Street part.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you want it though, you can find it on our website and click on the Good Morning Connecticut weekend section. It's just that simple.